to go see if I can vote, even though it seems like it doesn't make any real difference because people are so indoctrinated. Okay, that's an overused word, but like seriously, like what is up with this? Is so frustrating. I already have this like horrendous feeling that, you know, Kamala's going to win, because I do believe there's corruption and and if nothing else, since I can't say that there's, this is the safest, most secure election ever, or whatever, all of that. I got banned from TikTok for speaking the truth. You can't speak the truth if it goes against independent fact checkers. So I'm depressed, but I'll have to get over it, because if this is, I guess if anything, we've learned that the president really isn't running anything. I mean, clearly, if any people can tell now, we know what the president is just the person that is the face. He's the face for the United States, but it's like there's all these other people that are really pulling the strings, I guess. So that's pretty much what we've learned in the past few years, and I'm depressed about it, to be quite frank. I'll have to get over it. It's kind of like, okay, if this is what the people need to wake up, fine, but like at the end of the day, I got banned on TikTok live because they're telling me it's misinformation what I'm saying, and I'm not saying things that are misinformation. So it is beyond frustrating to not be able to speak like truth, like legit, like stuff I could back up, because all of the media companies are operated and paid by a certain people backing a certain agenda. And so that's the reality we live in. And I am saddened by it, because today, for me, it feels like this is the end of our country, right? They have now, that's how it feels to me. I feel like if Harris gets in, she was not picked. The guy that was running the office, supposedly, this is what I said on TikTok. I get banned for saying this stuff, for literally saying that CNN aired him in an early June debate where he's like passing out. Everybody that was paying attention to Biden could tell that he literally called Zelensky President Putin, for God's sakes. And then I started talking about how close the shooter in Pennsylvania was, and that they could see him. There was cell phone footage of people seeing that kid running on the roof, and how appalled I was at the Secret Service. If I say this stuff that is factual, I was like, have you ever been to a football game and like you can see the mascot at the, you know what I'm saying? Like you can see 100 yards is a football field. If we're elevated looking down, we see stuff. If that is the Secret Service, the person in charge, yeah, I started saying that was true too. I said that they changed the Wikipedia. Yes, they did. I have videos of that. They updated the Wikipedia. Kimberly, whatever. She was working for BlackRock. PepsiCo. Not BlackRock. PepsiCo and Vanguard own their, hedge funds. So that's what I was talking about. These large corporations own the majority of the markets. So the markets are basically, you can't say this stuff. You cannot, and it's true. And they say that this is like not factual or something. Look at the chat. I'm about to go vote right now. I've got 19 minutes left. I am going to vote for Trump. And again, I don't think that he's like a savior. I don't think I'm not like, ooh, he's going to save him. He's going to fix all of our problems. I do believe he's the better choice. All I said was that he was a little less controlled. That gets me in trouble. So but I'm baffled. The problem we're having is that there's so many women that literally will think that a woman in charge will make things better for women. They also see the skin color and that they think, well, that matters. They think a person of color who's my identity, my gender, looks like me. I mean, that is so barbaric to me, but that is what identity politics is all about. You look like me, so I think you're going to do better for me. When she's not, in my opinion. I think we are facing economic collapse, and their Great Reset, can't bring that up. That World Economic Forum called their meeting in Davos the Great Reset. That's not conspiracy either. They are, and that's what I started talking about, that we were going to have. I also said that the United States owned, you can look this up, they own over 200,000 Bitcoins. I said, if you believe that Satoshi Nakamoto, whatever, some guy in Japan, mystery man created Bitcoin, I guess that's my opinion, that I don't really think that some mystery man created Bitcoin. I believe that the government is using blockchain. What is disrespectful? I don't know what you're saying is disrespectful. It's true about, they're going to do central bank digital currencies. These are not conspiracies. Like, this is happening. They're using blockchain all of the time. Like, why would the United States, why would the SEC, what is that, Securities Exchange? I don't know. They put it on the public board to trade. Why would you allow Bitcoin to be publicly traded if it wasn't regulated? If it was just created by some random Asian dude that nobody knows, some guy who supposedly disappeared, that I believe that this is, but if I say this stuff, it's misinformation. What? Coinbase is publicly traded. Like, hello, like, the United States owns over 200,000 Bitcoin. Anyway, I got to get in. I'm going to go vote. I have 16 more minutes. I might as well cast my vote. I really am worried about Georgia. I feel like that's gone blue. I think it's crazy. It goes down to just these few swing states, and I feel it's very controlled. But at the end of the day, I personally think, I don't know why you can't say that you think there's corruption. How is that a community guideline violation? How is that wrong to express your opinion? How is it wrong for you to believe certain things and believe that media that's owned by certain corporations that share the same agenda are spoon-feeding people with all of this stuff, and that a lot of people are going to vote for Kamala because she's a person of color and because she's a woman? What's wrong with saying that? Why can't you speak any truth anymore? And that's how they that's how they're getting us, honestly, where we're just having to like suck it up and then our voices get suppressed and censored. So everybody believes this other stuff because people are susceptible. There's a lot of people that are easily controlled and manipulated by media propaganda and fear, and this fear of their woman's rights, and like, it's lunacy to me. It is absolute lunacy to me, because Trump never said that he was against IVF. He never said he was going to go against like a woman that, whatever. It's just, it's so frustrating that the whole country will like literally fall on these people saying certain things, and then everybody's buying into this when our country is in a lot of trouble. Like, the BRICS is real. BRICS nations is real. That's just what I was saying on TikTok. Got me in trouble every time, man. I can't talk about the Federal Reserve. I can't talk about the Federal Reserve, which is facts. They banned me for a week because of misinformation. They have independent fact checkers. So you don't have a voice. You just have to like bow down to them because they have their things that you're not allowed to say, even if it's true, which hurts me deeply because I'm all about the truth and people are being misled. And I said, yeah, we're in a recession and people don't have money to spend. Like, people are broke. There's a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, barely making it. I don't know. I guess they're going to vote for Kamala because she what? She's going to give money back. She's going to print more money, which is going to create more debt, but they won't let you teach that. They cut you off if you explain the money that is spent. It is not free money. It's a Ponzi scheme, and oh my gosh, that's misinformation. How? It's not. It is the definition of a Ponzi scheme, and Nixon, what? No, I said August 15th, 1971. Took us off the gold standard. We became the world reserve currency and all of that after World War II, and more money was, oil. They had to trade oil in U.S. currency. That was a whole thing they made. The deal they made with Saudi Arabia. Well, Saudi Arabia is moving to BRICS, which I don't know. I did hear we actually don't import as much oil as people might think anymore, and we actually have enough oil, but they don't want to tap into Canada, but that's a whole other thing. But like, Texas is huge. True story. I was talking about stuff that's true about the Hunter Biden laptop. It's all true. It's all true. It's just, but I get shut down. I'm so into all of this stuff, and I'm going to start my podcast here. So somehow I'm going to have a conversation with people like you where we talk back and forth. And I already talked to my YouTube. I actually have a YouTube. This is the stuff I want to talk about. Truly. This is the stuff that I'm passionate about. Teaching people the truth about things. Okay? And actually showing the data. Showing the facts. And I do have a YouTube channel partner or whatever. I don't think I can do this stuff on TikTok. So I need to move over to YouTube, but I need to just do the podcast, which means just an open forum of communication where two people are talking and then other people can engage in the comments and, have a real discussion. But I have 10 minutes to go vote. So I'm going to walk in here and vote, but I'm depressed right now because I really feel like it's going to go to somebody who doesn't really deserve it, because even if she earns the votes that she, if you earn it through a lie, right, then you're misleading the people, and that in itself is election interference. And so that's what we're getting right now with the media and the social. So maybe, I don't know what's going to come of this, but all I know is that I feel like today is kind of the end. It's kind of the end, and it's kind of the beginning. Because if once they take over and they do their stuff, that's what I was saying. And they said, Kamala gets in and they're going to go right into the great reset, which is scheduled for 2030. And that is not a conspiracy. That is not misinformation. So somehow I don't know. Somehow you can't say that, even though you can pull up the information from the World Economic Forum, and they are in bed with the United Nations, and they work together, and they have their agendas, and they tell you what they are, and if you repeat them, it's independent fact checkers will tell you that you're full of shit. So I digress, but I've got 8 minutes to vote, even though I've got a bad feeling about it, this one, guys. I got a bad feeling about it, and I know I gotta have faith and just say, okay, well, give the people what they want, and maybe they'll one day, maybe this will humble a lot of people when things get really bad, because I truly don't see things getting better. There's no way to get out of a $35 trillion deficit. There is no, it's mathematically impossible. The country is broke. The country, these politicians spend, I just saw a statistic that they spent $1.87 trillion more, a surplus. They're spending and spending and spending, and the money is printed out of and then it's got to get paid back. They're paying back trillions of dollars a year in interest. So when a person files bankruptcy, that's what happens. They have credit cards that rack up, and at one point they run out of money, and their interest is so high from the debt that they racked up that they have to file bankruptcy. So that is what's happening. But me saying that, I am told I'm wrong. I am told I am speaking misinformation and scaring people, and that a nice liberal that's educated will tell me that the GDP is yada yada yada, and inflation is only 2.7%, and they'll rattle off all the stuff, and the CPI data and the jobs reports. Government jobs is actually going to add to the deficit, by the way. So when they say they've created jobs and they're government jobs, that's going to be paid back with interest when you have to pay those salaries. So this is facts. This is facts. But people can't wrap their head around it, because they don't want to think about math and finances. And they just don't, for some reason. They want to look at a woman and say, this woman's going to do better because it's a woman, and I can tell my little daughter that she can be president one day. They care more about that than science, math, facts. And so I'm done. I have 5 minutes to hopefully vote. If not, oh well.